Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody.
And that's Guy.
And that's Taylor.
And we're back again.
And this is definitely a week later.
Yeah. We did not just record a double episode.
Double episode, baby. Back to back. Have you heard there's a hurricane going to make landfall in Australia?
Yeah, well, we're watching it kind of roll in.
We are watching it roll in.
Nervously looking out for it, probably. Isn't
I know. I'm sort of seeing birds like fly in the opposite direction. This is end of days.
I've been practicing my work from home spiel.
Nice.
It's raining. Can't come in.
Wow. It is such a privilege to still have the work from home capability, because more and more is it pushing to bring people back to the office, and like,
which I don't agree with.
No, I don't agree with it at all. But like, if you were in the States and it's like, just left and right, back in the office, back in the office, back in the office, you'd be like, fuck.
It actually sucks. Mate, I'm unhealthy when I go into the office. I eat so many snacks that are there. I've got to pay. I got to pay to fucking get there, which is a hurdle I've never jumped, Guy. The fact that I have to pay to get to work, to give taxes to the government before I take anything.
Yeah.
Is like, and you look, mate, like Melbourne got it right. Like transport in the inner city should be fucking free.
Yeah.
Like
we should be paid for the duration of the commute.
Like, so I get home from work and I'm like, what do you mean it cost me $15 to get there?
Yeah.
I didn't even want to go.
Yeah. That's my first hour of my paycheck, bitch.
Okay. Well,
probably not.
If that was the first hour of my paycheck, I would not be able to afford an Xbox.
Well, true, but there are people out there. Are you kidding me? There are people out there doing that. Think about all your cafe workers who have to commute in, and then If you're earning $15 an hour, if you're listening to this, you're earning $15 an hour. Ask some questions. Because I reckon that's below minimum wage these days. It has. Well, yeah. I mean, you'd have to be like, 16 with the award rates or something like that.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind going, like, imagine that girl and guy that's like the barista at the coffee shop or takes the orders at the coffee shop. You order, like 4 people come up and buy their coffees, $5 a coffee. That's just paid the first hour of their day.
She's just breaking even, paying for the train to get to work, just to pay some taxes and then pay for the train again.
Man,
anyway, we're a gaming podcast.
It's a fucking con.
It is.
It's fucking matrix capitalist system that we've been born into. Anyway, today's review is Robocop.
Yeah. And you know what I'm just realizing is you had a thought at the end of our live. Oh my God. At the end of our live. I've been having these mini strokes all day.
We had some shots, guys, between episode 1 and 2.
Don't know what's going on. I left a voicemail for a client today, and you know when you leave a voicemail and you fuck it up like 4 times and you just think, I hope they're not a voicemail person because there's no way they're calling me back.
Did you think about calling them back going, apologies for the previous voicemail?
Because you don't double down. You do not. You act like you have a speech impairment at that point, and that's just normal for you.
They call you back, and then you just keep stumbling over it.
You end up in an on-site, just still trying to figure out how to fucking
just commit.
Yeah. So I just have mini strokes sometimes, actually.
I have Tourette's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're like, me too. You're like, fuck.
Exactly. God.
Anyway, what was your era of gaming that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, the era of gaming. That was the climax, or the cliffhanger, I should say. Oh, that was...
No, I like climax.
All right, yeah, we left it on a climax, on a cliffhanger. So, era of gaming. So, the era of gaming for me, and you and I have probably talked about this off air, never sort of discussed it on air, is the Destiny duration. When that game dropped, you and I, we were Bungie fans. We enjoyed... the Halo games. We were playing multiplayer Halo, I think, around that time. Or was that was pre? It was a pre or post or whatever. We were playing it, and Destiny came out. And I remember saying to you, going, Bungie, this sort of live service game, I think it's been really good. Let's give it a roll. We jumped on that bad boy, and boy, it got out its hooks into us pretty hard. And that was a period of time I remember I was coming home from uni, being like jumping straight on the box, we were straight on the headsets, and we were running some raids. And that when that first raid dropped, that first raid was such a marker of time in gaming history for me, because the ability to jump into what was a WoW kind of raid with a bunch of strangers, you all had to be on mics, and you've got to play it through perfectly. There's no walkthrough like online because it just dropped day one. Everybody's waiting at that door to start the what is it, the crystal glass or whatever it was called. Yeah. We all charged down there and we're jumping through it, all the rest of it. and we're on mics with strangers, you know, and you've got people on there going, you know, my wife and kids is screaming, I got to make dinner. Like, let's get this fucking right this time.
Yeah,
and then there's me, you, and Grady, our good friend from the States in the background, just having a laugh, going like knocking people off the edge.
You know what's funny is like, fuck me, man. Like 80% of the time, because you have to pair with a random.
Yeah.
You have to do a raid with like at least 5 of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was a fair few people.
I remember you'd look through posts on Xbox to find people. Like it was very much like that back then.
Yeah.
Because really, who has 5 friends that are on at the same time, right?
Yeah. Playing Destiny as well.
We're not fucking 14 anymore. 80% of the time you'd pair with someone and you'd be like, so what are you up to, man? And they'll be like, wait, hang on. Wait a second.
Oh, what? Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like,
oh my
really,
word. Yeah.
bro?
God.
God, that was a time in gaming, eh?
Yeah, it was a hell of a time, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. I mean, we didn't stick with Destiny too long. I think we kind of realized the gimmick of it, and it was like, it's taking up too much of my time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and it was also one of those games you had to lie about your consumption. It's like
Yeah.
you just get off a raid and
Yeah.
someone's like, so what have you been up to today? And in your head you're just thinking, I can't say an 8-hour Destiny raid. I've got to say something else.
oh mate, yeah, too true. Like those raids took a fair proportion of time. Do you remember the cave? There was like early doors. There was that cave where like
There was a snipe spot.
it would replicate like
Yeah.
the and like they actually did a really good job of the loot drops. Like it was quite a visual, cool kind of trigger to be like, that's a new weapon or a new, you know, and you'd be visually,
was great.
you'd be wearing the armor piece, and everyone would be like, how'd you get that one? Like, you know,
And it really kind of it brought you into the teamwork of where gaming I think needs to get back to, which is like you finish an area in a raid and then you all kind of get into the next tunnel before you get to the next area and you're decompressing, you're debriefing, you're talking strategy. Like
Yeah.
that's actually like those moments in gaming, you're like, this is fucking fun. Like
Yeah.
this is what it's all about.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
why I have a build. This
Yeah.
is why I upgraded that armor. This is why I have that gun.
Yeah.
And so like, there's a part of me that misses it for sure.
I agree with you, you know, and I think we dipped our toe briefly into Destiny 2 and just kind of found we were really late to the game on that one. And I remember we all jumped into it and we started playing, and it was just sort of like,
It just dated. It felt dated to me.
yeah, it was, but I was also just like, there was no kind of story. I didn't feel like it set up much of a story. It was just, there you go. And you're like, okay, like, who are these people again? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and it's also like, why am I shooting the same enemy? That's
Yeah.
a boss for like 35 minutes.
I think, yeah, like, I mean,
This has to come to an end.
yeah, a lot of people enjoyed those games, you know, and they had their moment, you know, and I
Just
think
wasn't for us at that time.
there is a lot of games. I think when we were looking through and doing our top anticipated games, there's a lot of ones coming up, which is going to be a lot of cooperative. I think this year there's going to be a lot of innovation in cooperative with the Elden Ring kind of one, the Night Rain. There's a lot of extraction games are coming out where it's sort of you and a couple of mates have got to go in and do something, and it's sort of a bit more bite-sized than like an 8-hour raid.
Night Rain. I'm just so looking forward to Night Rain. Like finishing the first kind of ring close, that first mini boss, debriefing about like that'll be one of those moments you have to kind of like really breathe in.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it'll be really
don't
good.
Fumble from.
No,
stuff like
I think
that.
it'll be really fun. I think it'll be a great game, and it will bring the Tit team back together.
And it's also like that question of like, what do you actually need? Like, how much do you actually need now?
Yeah.
You actually just kind of want to jump on the mic, exactly like what you said, for an hour or two,
Yeah.
catch up about your day or the week while playing a pretty fucking epic game. And
Yeah.
I think Night Rain's going to bring that, and I'm excited.
Have we ever explained the Tit team? I feel like we've referenced it a couple of times, but we've never actually explained it.
No, I don't think we have.
Do we feel the need to, or
It's
are we
just
just
our
going to hang it
gaming
out
clan.
there? It's you know, yeah.
Do you remember how it happened?
Yeah, I remember how it happened. I remember it was Halo, and in Halo you got to pick your dog tag thing that was
It
above.
auto-generated that for you.
No, I made that. I did make that because
Oh.
we were sort of. I think we were like,
That
you know.
spoils it a bit for me.
No, sorry, but I remember us always going like, "That's the tits" or something, like, you
That
know,
is
it's sort
the
of
tits.
a term. And I was like, I'm going to put it up there, and like, of course, I don't know if you could do zeros or something, and I was like, tit 9, like a Uzi 9mm or something
Yeah,
like
right.
that. And then without talking, I think you or you Kyle
Tit 7 was taken, Tit 8 was taken.
Yeah, it was like tit 3, tit
Wait,
6,
what
tit
am I actually? I
9.
have it tattooed on me here. I'm tit 6.
Yeah, I'm tit 9 and Kyle's
I
tit
have it
3.
tattooed on
And then we were in the UK and we were wasted and we're like, let's get it tattooed to ourselves. So we are now forever bonded in ink, and you and your brother decided to do it on your forearms, and I made the call not to have a tit in Roman numerals.
No one's picked up on it. Everyone goes, "Why you got a barcode on your thing?"
The other day, I was up the coast with my missus's family, and we're all in the pool, and so I got my shirt off, and I've got tit 9 written there, and one of her cousins and his partner were like looking at it, and one of them was like, "Yeah, it's just Roman numerals. It doesn't say tits." And then the girl was like, "That definitely says tits." And he's like coming up inspecting. He's like, "Do you have tit written on you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got tit written on me." Yeah.
You know what's funny is everyone that I think that's the benefit of having it on the forearm. It looks like a barcode because the angle of your forearm changes, whereas like on your ribs, that is standing upright.
That's clear as day. Yeah.
But I guess you have a shirt on at work and
most
things like this, so it doesn't affect you as much. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell the second half of that story because I don't want that nickname to stick with me. So Tit 6 it is.
Let's push on. The Tit team. Yeah, let's push on. So eras of gaming. So the only other thing I was going to mention on the eras of gaming is Grady, who I referenced there, and we reference Grady every once in a while, is he is a guy that we played Destiny with back in that OG time. And so that was about 10 years ago. And over the journey, Grady, you and I and Kyle at times have probably played a few games together over the journey of it. And it's always entertaining because when we game, it's me, you, Kyle, and we're pretty locked in. We're a tight 3 unit. We've
often playing
it's Apex, games. And it's high communication. And then Grady pops into the chat, and he brings energy, he brings chat, he changes up the game, and we're probably never quite ready for the energy he brings and the mindset we're in at the time.
It's also just like when you're playing a game like Apex, you're right. Like you can't have someone that's not playing it in the party.
Yeah.
Because you're just talking to each other about what's going on in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's not like a RuneScape or a Minecraft where you can actually have a conversation and play.
And also it's like, we all know each other. We socialize outside of gaming and have lives. So when you've got someone coming in, no matter how nice a dude they are, you don't want to stop the conversation to give 4 years of fucking backstory and context to why you hate Gary, like, you know what I mean?
Do we hate Gary? I don't hate Gary.
Well, I just tried to come up with the most NPC name I could think of. Sorry to all the Garys out there.
Should have said Colton. That seems like an NPC game.
The only other thing I was going to say with Grady is Grady has recently started Twitch streaming himself. And we caught up and had a chat not that long ago. And I was like, I'll jump on his thing. I've seen him be doing Twitch streaming. I should give him some support and I'll have a listen. So I dial in and he's playing Dead Space, the redone one.
Which are pretty good games, aren't they?
They're phenomenal games. Somehow he'd sort of missed those ones when they OG came out. I remember playing them when they originally came out. Loved them. So Grady's playing it, and I'm rarely on Twitch as it is, but I've got an account. I can't remember what my name is on my account. It's probably Tit something, I don't know. And I'm like, he's realizing, like, I'm writing in the chat like a lot, just like riling people up and just riling him up, being like, you scream like a bitch or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's going like, who are these people? Like, because he doesn't have hundreds of thousands of viewers watching it. He's growing. There's more and more people watching it each time. But, he's like, feels like the people talking in there know him. So he's just like, Tit whatever, like, who are you? Like, he keeps asking. And I was like, I'm going to lead him down a path kind of thing. So I was like, I'll give you one clue. And he's like, all right, hit me with your clue. And I wrote Destiny. And he's thinking himself like, Destiny, like a chick's name, like a stripper name, like he's sort of
one
trying.
Time I was in Canada.
You can see him, and it's so fun to watch someone live, kind of try to work out how do I know this person.
Process something.
Eventually, he figured it out, and he told his version of the Destiny story of where we first started gaming together. So I'm sitting there watching a Twitch streamer explain how me and this person on the other side of the world.
Shoes on the other foot kind of moment.
It was the shoes on the other, and you know what he fucking said? As he's telling the story, he's like, so anyway, he's an Australian, blah, 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 from down south, and I think he was like 35 when we were playing Destiny. And I was like, that made me 45 now. Like, in what world did you think I was 30 at that time? Like, what the fuck?
And if you play Destiny, I'll say with some level of confidence that you're at uni. Like, that's the type of time you need.
100%. You couldn't play that game in your full-time job. That'd be like too much time. Anyway, so Grady was also, he's been listening to the pod, and he was the one who sort of raised to me the concept of pacing. He said Indiana Jones, that game I reviewed a couple of episodes ago, had not good pacing, and it dropped off a bit. Today's game, I've referenced the pacing into it, and from this point forward, I'm going to give Grady a bit of kudos for this, of actually talking more to the pacing of games, because I talk about the storyline, And within the storyline, pacing is a huge part of that, and I think is a big reason why I often drop off playing some of these games. Rise of Ronin was the one I referenced in the last episode. For anybody who wants to give Grady a watch, Raymond Keating, I think is his Twitch handle. I'm giving him a shout out because he's been a firm listener of ours. He's listened to every fucking episode. He was really annoyed that we couldn't get the names of Hideo Kojima. And
he was not happy about that.
He was not happy about that
I reckon a few people weren't happy about that.
To be fair, I mean, but the thing is, we're doing this off the top of our heads
a
lot of the time. Like in the last episode, and geez, we're tired. We got day jobs.
Like the reviews are facts. Our reviews are facts. Everything else is banter.
Well, I would say the reviews are heavily opinion.
Oh yeah, of course it's subjective, but it's deep rooted in logic.
Yeah, but I think it's also that like we talk about these things, and as you talk about it, you have thoughts, and you go, that reminds me of this game, and it's a game you've played 10 years ago, and I don't have an encyclopedic memory. I can't even remember what I did last Saturday. Give me a break.
And like, if you want a podcast that's scripted, go fucking listen to one of the other ones. We're here for tangents, throwbacks,
and random,
and laughs. It's literally in the description.
It's quite clear. So that was my favorite era of gaming, everybody. Or one of them. I think there's been a fair few.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love that.
So we're reviewing what? Robocop?
Robocop Rogue City. And I was quite surprised to see that this game actually came out in 2023. And the developer was Taeyon and published by Nakon.
Taeyon?
Yeah, which you sort of say those ones and you go, they're not ones that I probably know of. And I think the only other game Taeyon is well known for is Terminator Resistance, which was a middling kind of okay game. So,
although some of these like Roadhouse publishers can surprise you.
Yeah, they can.
That's how I found Mobius Digital, man.
Yeah.
Literally scrolling one day, found this game, was like, who the fuck is Mobius Digital?
Yeah.
Jumped on their website, they had like 3 games, and that game blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
So just because you've never heard of them,
is that one?
Yeah. Just because you've never heard of them doesn't mean they're not capable.
No, that's true. That's true. And I think the same could be said for the one that you and I have been playing together, the co-op one, and the second one just came out, and the fucking, what's it called?
Oh, my Remnant.
Remnant, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I think that's a fairly, anyway, okay. So
I'm 2 from 2 of the latest.
You are 2 from 2. You've very well done. So single player game. So when this game dropped, in the first 2 weeks, it had about 500,000 players. So people had an appetite for it. We're not talking a huge marquee game. This was definitely a bit of a filler one for me, and I was interested by it. So cracked it out, started playing it. The original voice actor, Peter Weller, has come back to do the voice for Robocop.
Nice. Love a bit of consistency.
Yeah. And if you've seen the movies 1 and 2, it's a very specific style of a grungy 90s kind of bleak utopia kind of world. And they obviously did a remake and sort of moderned it up a bit. But the OG ones are cult classic films. A lot of people know of it. And the game does a great job of replicating that world and playing in the world that was built in the movie, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. My memory of Robocop, and it goes back a long way in terms of videos and production. Oh, videos. In terms of films and production. You'd be able to pick them out of a lineup. Like if you had like fucking Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, and a few others with the helmets, you'd be like, that guy that looks like a bit of a pussy right there. That's Robocop.
Oh, jeez. I don't know about calling Robocop a pussy. I mean, he is Robocop. But they were violent movies, and the game was violent, and quite sort of surprisingly so, maybe not surprisingly so, but I think I was more surprised with just the blood splatter, and I'll come back to that later.
The goriness of the game,
a little bit, yeah. So let me crack into the pillars here. So storyline, world building. It's Robocop, and it's set, I think, between the first and second movie. There's a big bad in there, and Robocop, is on the streets. He's doing his thing, and you're sort of fighting against gangs and just sort of obviously criminals throughout Detroit. And you're sort of inbuilt within the sort of the PD.
They could have picked somewhere else, couldn't they?
Well,
give Detroit a break.
But I think that's where the movies also set it, so that's sort of why they chose that location.
That's fair.
And so the game's pacing is there's sort of big levels that unfold, and in between the levels, you hang around the precinct and roam sort of a Detroit sort of city area environment. And in that city area environment, you're going up to misdemeanors, and kind of giving them tickets if you want, or letting them off with a warning, So you're either choosing a moral decision for these misdemeanor crimes.
Seems like a pretty slow start.
It starts with a huge marquee level, like lots of shooting, super intense,
right,
and then kind of grounds to a halt as you go into the Detroit sort of PD, and you've got Omnibus or Omnicare or whatever the name of the corporation is. They've purchased and take ownership of the police department. And that's why Robocop sort of is in there and exists, because, they've kind of putting in these cyborg police officers. And Robocop's the only one that's kind of really worked for thus far.
Gotcha. You know what I've just seen, mate? I've just searched Robocop.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's happening this year with it?
No.
New movie?
Oh, really? No, I didn't see that.
Trailer just dropped, unless this is a troll, but I doubt it, because you know whose face I'm looking at right now?
Who?
Old Henry Cav.
Fuck off.
As Robocop, apparently.
No. What?
That could be a troll, but that's what I'm looking at. It returns
Get
2025. And as a throwback to our last episode, Silent Hill 2, there's one coming out this year, Silent Hill movie. Do you know who's playing it?
No.
Fuck, I've forgotten his name. Who dates Zendaya?
What? Timothy Chalamet?
No, Tom
Holland.
Tom Holland.
In Silent Hill.
In Silent Hill. Unless, something I'm really struggling with lately, rather, is AI videos. What's real anymore, guys?
I really don't think there's a new Robocop coming out with Henry Cavill. I'd be very surprised.
A new installment titled Robocop Returns is in the works and will serve as a direct sequel to the 1987 film. Posted 5 days ago. Henry Cavill.
What?
You're not looking at that? Henry Cavill and Idris Elba.
I'm like, I saw there's
His
a trailer on
everywhere.
it.
Well, I kind of hope that's true.
New Robocop film 2023.
He's being typecasted, man. He's going after all the games.
Oh, man.
You reckon it's not true?
This first, all right. We're doing this live on the pod. I'm going to go on the trailer and then look at. I reckon it's like an AI thing for sure.
You
it
reckon?
Has to be. Robocop New Dawn.
Well, it's got a name. It's. We actually let's do it. Let's do a little live.
Let's do it. Well, I don't want to watch the trailer, but what I do want to see is the comments.
Or if there's any actual fucking movement.
Yeah, it's a false trailer. They're all saying false trailer. Yeah,
I wonder if
because it would have been all over the news and everything else.
That's what I thought, and also he's got other productions in the works.
Yeah, exactly. Like his probably thing is stacked up. It would have been all over the news, and like I do find though, if do you ever go down that YouTube hole where
Silent Hill's troll as well?
Oh. There you go.
Oh,
You've just been done. You've been done twice.
To be fair, I never watched them.
Yeah, but on YouTube, there is tons of fan-made, and they're only getting more with AI and better the graphics. But I remember years ago, there would be these kind of like dummied up trailers, and they've just taken clips from numerous films and kind of mashed them together to make their own story. And some of them you would look at it and you go like, that's pretty good.
Real.
That's pretty good.
Don't get my hopes up.
I know, right? I know. But anyway, so storyline world building. The big bad is the brother from the first movie, and it sort of ties in well to that universe. So it gets a tick in that, and the world that it's playing within very much feels like the movies. The time spent in the precinct in Detroit doing these fucking misdemeanors is a bit of a drag, a bit of a groan. Didn't really enjoy it. It plays pretty well. I'll kind of move to film mechanics in a moment. But so just sticking with storyline world building. World building, yes, good. Sticks with the universe. Storyline, okay. Average, big bad. You sort of have to verse this guy. Robocop goes through a lot of moral kind of choices throughout the game, and his decisions then decide how does it play out at the end. There's a little bit of political thing in there where you have to kind of pick between two candidates, whichever one is like, one of the political candidates is like, robots will get the vote and be classified as real human beings, but then is like really corrupt and suspicious. Right. And so it's kind of like plays on your morals of what do you think is the right thing to do.
Training them to vote young.
Yeah, well, and there's an element of like, does Robocop lean into the robo-ness of himself, or does he stick with the more humane side of his psyche that's still somewhere in his brain that is
I don't mind that. But is it necessary for the game?
Well,
is
like,
the question
it's one of those things where it's like sometimes you feel like it's a really half-thought thought.
Yeah. It seems like they finished it and was like, what else can we put in here?
Yeah, like I like the games where you go,
let's do the age-old Blade Runner thing. You know?
like I'm cool with that because it fits with it. You know,
does.
he's a human that's put in a machine and da da
Question
da.
of
Like I like that.
humanity, the creator versus creator kind of
like
thing.
all those. I mean, so like those philosophical questions, they could probably do more on and better at instead of just tipping their hat to it.
Yeah,
like a light touch. But the thing that annoys me is when you build it into a game, really think it through, really have it come through. Like, you know, if you come across a gang, the gang's, you know, sort of trying to survive, you know, and they're stealing. And Robocop has to have that moral decision of going, they're criminals, they've stolen. Am I going to fucking murder every last one of these dudes?
Because they wanted a can of tuna. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, like there's a really good moral conundrum that then would play out the game in very two different styles.
Yeah, I agree.
But, you know, anyway, okay, so field mechanics. Robocop walks pretty fucking slow in the city. So when you're in the game, you can get a level up that gives you a dash move. And so when you're playing
you don't have dash from the start?
You don't have a dash from the start.
That's a bold move.
You've got sprint, but the sprint increases your walk speed by like a fucking 1 kilometer an hour. So you go from to then and you're still like, this is so agonizingly slow. Like my mission is on the other side of the fucking map and I've got to walk there and I'm literally just like holding my fucking analog thing, kind of looking at Detroit going like, okay, that's visually kind of cool, but like hurry the fuck up. Like this is ridiculous. You're a machine. Like walk faster. It's so frustrating.
Just grow like jetpacks. Yeah.
And as the game unfolds and once you get that level up, you can only use it in the missions. You can't use it in the outside world. You have to fucking walk around. It removes the ability to dash, which is infuriating.
That's dumb.
I'm
sorry, that's actually just dumb.
It is. So when I started playing, there's kind of you've got your sidearm, and the sidearm is like a big piece of the game. You know, you've got this machine gun pistol that he's attached to his leg, and he kind of pops it out.
He's kind of a gunslinger, isn't he?
A little bit, yeah. So, and you can pick up other weapons along the way of what other people are using, but your gun is always with you. And I think there's stages where it's got infinity ammo. I think it always has infinity ammo. Yeah. But you have to reload it is one of the things of it. So the gun, when you click a button, it kind of hones in on their head, but you've got to move the analog stick to nail the headshot and it slows time. And the headshot is fucking sick. Like you pop a head and the wall behind them gets coated red and it's very satisfying. And like if you know, and like not that I've got some fucking inner demons, but I enjoy a bit of blood splatter when I'm slicing and dicing and blowing heads.
I love Doom.
You know, it's one of those kind of cool things about playing video games. I mean, this is what all those people in the 90s are like, it's going to make some murderers. And you're like, no, man, like I just, you know, it's just, yeah.
Just make some gamers that like
some
blowing
violence.
up heads on some walls.
Yeah. So the problem, though, is the sensitivity, default sensitivity is fucked. So you start playing and you're like, okay, headshot, and you're like trying to move your analog stick to get the shot off, and it's like the slow-mo, you're like missing it every time. And I was like, why is the default sluggish? Like it felt sluggish. So I cracked into the fucking settings, and I almost never do this. Like I never fiddle with the sensitivity in the settings. I always play the default.
I do it 100% of the time.
I always just play the default. Like most times I've got no problem with it, but in this one I found it really annoying.
Yeah.
So I dialed it up to about 100, and that then felt normal. Like it was just one of those weird things. I didn't get it. So
this is sounding like a pretty one-dimensional game so far.
Well, it's a weird one because it's like, it has all these things that it's like, if you just had done this, it would have made it a really good game. But it just kind of, you know, almost like avowed, you're like, don't tempt me. Like,
oil the hinges a bit of the game.
Just spend a bit more time on it, guys. Yeah. Anyway, so the popping your heads, as I said, blood splatter, fantastic. Explosions, this is another thing that I often define as a really good game. If you play a game and there's cars in it and you've got the capability to blow it up, whether it's shoot the gas tank, throw a grenade underneath it, whatever it might be, when that car goes boom, does the graphics hold water? Does it look cool? Does the doors fly off? Does the glass shatter? Does the bonnet blow up? Where's the fireball come from? Are you shooting the actual gas tank? Or is it one of those dumb ones where you shoot the front end where there's no gas and it's just the engine? You know, those kind of little things that you think about. GTA took it to a whole new level where it was highly thought through, designed, fantastic. The visuals on this, when this car blows up, is sick. Really well done.
Nice.
You know, and I really appreciated the energy and the effort they clearly went into to CGI that shit because it was really cool.
Nice.
And it's same with
So
the
we're
sort
talking
of
about like those 1%ers.
yeah, that's
Gamers
exactly
noticed
it.
this.
Yeah. So moving to challenge and entertainment, most of the game was an absolute cakewalk. No problems at all. You're Robocop. You know, you walk into a room, they're all shooting at you, and you're just like, and just
It's kind of like the Master Chief walking through the city.
basically, yeah.
Who's going to do what to him?
Yeah, it was satisfying that you could go up to a gangster, grab him by the throat, and then just launch him at a wall, and
Yeah,
see him
nice.
just get like annihilated on the wall. That was really cool. There was one boss battle that I really struggled with throughout the entire game, just one, which is the one that most people, if you've seen the movies, would expect. That at the end of Robocop, I think he goes into the boardroom and there's one of these like fucking Star Wars 2-legged giant mech thingies that Omni whatever was going to come out with next.
Yeah.
And of course it goes bad. It goes rogue and starts shooting at you. And the fight took me probably 3 goes and it really kept me on my toes of you having to maneuver around, throw things at it, blow sort of canisters up and then shoot at it the right way. It was challenging. I got through it, but it was one of those ones by the end I was like, okay, that fight took me probably about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of just really intense twitch, sort of getting the timings right.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
in the end, you're like, fuck my hands. Like that was sort of really stressed them out.
So you're saying that was a good fight or like?
Well, like,
And is this kind of, is that the big bad or is that just
well,
a
no,
mini
it's
boss?
just like midway through the game. Like I wasn't even leveled up. I didn't have sort of great stuff. I was just like, this is a bit weird. Like, why are you here? Like
Again, kind of coming across a bit basic, hey?
yeah, like I would have made sense to have that maybe at the very end or maybe not be that as difficult a fight. But the rest of the game was super easy apart from that one fight, which was peculiar. I mean, later you fight 2 of them. But by that point, I've leveled up enough to be able to clear it fine. Like,
Also, like, make better tech.
well, so I mean, the
Why
tech,
is every fucking tech character in every movie and game just immediately like, you know what? Genocide.
well,
Make
I
better
mean,
tech.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, there is some games that do sort of talk about AI, but it is true that the classic motif is always they
Like,
go
you know
rogue, they go bad.
I bet
know.
you walked in that conference room and you were like, that thing's going to fucking start shooting me at some point.
Yeah.
Like you would have thought that as a game and it just means predictable.
the movie had set that premise up, so it was
True.
sticking with the movie. So, but I hear what you're saying. You know, it's probably too generic.
And also, like, there's got to be a court case that follows. Like, who designed that road?
Well,
that road. He has to. They have to go to court.
Very true. I mean,
know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Like, you know, how the Omni company doesn't get sued from the jump is crazy.
Plot holes.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, who wants to play a game where it's just lawsuits, like litigation? There is a game series that is like an anime where it's like a lawyer kind of thing and you do cases. And a lot of people rated that one. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
They had a slow introduction of enemy types and a good variety there.
Okay, that's good.
Shields popping up, different gangs coming up. You know, there's one point you've got dudes on motorbikes driving around you, shooting at you, and you have to kind of really slow-mo it to be able to shoot the tires so they flip off and then like hit the wall, which was kind of
Nice.
cool.
Is this third person and then to first person?
Nah, all first.
Or first
All
again?
first, yeah. All first person.
Indiana Jones was first person.
Yeah,
as well.
it was.
You've been
It's-
playing a fair
yeah.
few story games first person.
I know. It's. I've been playing the 80s classics. It feels like game developers are really mining the 80 top films.
Do you think with this game they really made it like a new version of it? Or do you think there's too much of the old in this game? Because it's sounding like there's a lot of the old. Which I don't know if that does a disservice or not.
It's they definitely they're what they were going for is we're going to do a game that is really set in those movies. It is a very clear love letter to the movies. You know, they weren't changing it up the pacing and you know the story so much.
Okay.
Which you know, it's one of those games where it's like this developer Taeyon who did Terminator Resistance. I think Robocop for them they'll say it's a success. There was a good game. A lot of people played it. It got pretty above average reviews. Hence why I played it. So I think whatever game they make next will probably be their maybe breakout game.
They kind of build on a few of their
there.
ideas.
Yeah, they're on the up and up, I think, in my humble opinion. Because this game, as much as when you dissect it, the parts of it don't play great. The package, I played it through and finished it and largely enjoyed the journey.
Yeah, okay.
So challenge and entertainment, I've cleared that. So we're on to character dev build. So the moral choices I've referenced, they have an impact on the end, the human versus machine, the sort of minor grievances of the Detroit people that you have to find them or then, imprison them and stuff like that. It was okay. I didn't mind that. I didn't unlock every skill in the game by the end. So I didn't have max stats at the end point. And the leveling up, one of my big frustrations for this was early on in the game, I kept coming across safes. And it'd be safes, and there's a skill I could see to unlock the safe without the code. Sometimes these safes would have the code nearby. You'd read a little fucking book, and the code would be there.
Yeah, it's posted in the office or something.
But plenty of these safes, or a few of them, didn't have a code. And you had to have the skill to unlock them to rip the door off the fucking safe. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm a collector. I want what's in the safe. I'll pump my levels up into safe cracking. I probably wouldn't have done that. I might have put it in health or attack or this or any other number of skills, but I put it into the safe cracking fucking skill because I wanted to get every collectible. I hate the idea of finishing a level and feeling like I got to go back to get that one safe, as you know, is a problem for me and my OCD.
It's a pet peeve.
Yeah. So I pump the stat, get to the point where I can unlock the safes, unlock it. I'm thinking to myself, in every level, there'll probably be one or two safes. Did not see a safe again.
Oh my God.
Pissed me off like nothing else.
Yeah,
because I just was like, you tempt me. You taste me with these things. You've even got the skill there for it. Spend more time on your fucking level design and put more safes in the game. It's not rocket science. Like it just blew my mind. But then
you've given me the golden samurai and then put me in a gunfight.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I asked myself going, did I search every nook and cranny of other missions later on and maybe I missed them? But I was like, nah, I did fucking my due diligence and I checked a lot of them. I reckon there was some of the levels which were time trialed kind of thing that I probably rushed through to try and beat the time trial.
And there's maybe a safe.
And maybe there was a safe there. But it was just like from seeing a lot in the start to then seeing not many was annoying.
Yeah, that is a bit huge grievance.
There was a mini game to upgrade the firearm, which I liked. I like a well thought out mini game. So with your sidearm, throughout the gaming levels, you'd find like sort of what were they? Like a. You remember in fucking like high school, you'd do like soldering with iron with it. So you'd find
in woodwork and all that.
You'd find CPU kind of soldering fucking data thingies.
Yeah, right.
And you'd be slotting them into your head, and that would then
that's a good idea.
Make your handgun different.
I kind of like
different
that.
Shit. So it would either turn into a shotgun, or it would be a machine gun.
That's smart.
Or it would be explosive rounds or armor penetrating rounds. But the mini game was like, and this really shows my age. It was like Pipe Dream, and Pipe Dream was a game on Windows like 95, and I remember it because my dad used to play it. And so you'd get a grid, and it was like almost like Tetris. You'd have sort of things go down the right hand side, and there'd be like little L points or like intersections and shit like that. And this green goo would start in one point, and you had to pick the right things to get the pipe of goo to the exit point. And it was like a speed thing. And if you didn't get the pieces in fast enough, the goo would run out and you'd lose and you'd go back to the start. Always remembered it. And so that's basically how you decide the levels up for the gun. You do have the grid and you have to select the right pieces to get to the levels up to then have it have explosive rounds.
Unlimited goes or one go?
Unlimited goes.
Okay. All I played on Windows 95 was Minefield.
Well, Minefield's a great example. I mean, there was some of those ones from the 90s. So the pinball, that fucking pinball one.
Pinball. What do you think about the unlimited goes at upgrades like that?
I think it's fine when it's upgrades. You want the upgrade, you know. And I think anytime you do anything in a game where it is speed based and you have one go for it and you lose and you then don't get that thing, you feel really unsatisfied, and then it forces you to save scum and go back and try.
And
again.
also the game.
So you still get unlimited goes. They might as well give it to you.
Yeah, and I feel like the game needs to introduce you to things before it can test you on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like when we played Remnant 2 the first time, there are a few loot pieces I lost out on because it was a one go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like, hang on, you can't thrust me into a flooding room with a puzzle in it
without
first
knowing,
time,
and
you
if you
need to
kill the
introduce me
deer,
to
you
it.
don't get the level, the gear, or whatever.
Yeah. And it comes out to that point we've noticed in a few times, Cyberpunk being an example, where it goes, hey, this is the last level.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it properly,
go back now.
Yeah. And I think it should do that at least.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
It's good there was unlimited goes.
So, as I mentioned, I didn't unlock every skill by the end, and that annoys me that you don't max stats, and it then forces you for replayability. They know they wanted to do it that way, and you could have New Game Plus where you carry over all the skills that you unlocked, and you basically play through it again. Same story, but you could then choose obviously different endings because there was 4 different endings with the moral choices. But if you want me to do that, then make the game, the decisions one, be totally different, not follow the same very linear path. If you force replayability, give multiple dissecting paths that really change the game up. That have maybe different levels or different ways that you approach the level. Maybe you do it even in reverse. Fine with that.
Like the forks in the road where you went left, next time I'll go right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't have to play 85% of the same shit to get an additional 15% of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
or play play the 95% of the game again for just different fucking cutscenes. Yeah, I don't care. Like whatever. Like I could
do you want
fill
an
in
alternate
the
ending?
blanks.
I hate it when they do that. Hey, do you want one alternate ending? It's like, nah, actually, I'll just read that ending.
Yeah. So like
I'm not playing 40
you're
hours
so
again.
confident your game is so top tier that you want me to replay 40 hours just to get a different fucking cutscene? Shut up.
That's the other question. You have to be a fucking good game for me to go NG1.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
100%.
a good game.
Yeah.
A very good game. It's like rewatching a movie. Like, how many movies have you rewatched? For me, there's only a handful.
Yeah.
And there's even some really great movies I haven't watched the second time around, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with gaming. It's like if I'm going to put the time in for something, like where I know everything around the corner.
It
needs to be different.
It has to, yeah. When,
incredibly good.
Yeah. Do you often have the conversations with your misso where you're like, oh, like, let's watch a movie tonight, like, and you're like scrolling through and you just kind of land on one, you go like, I wonder if she's seen this. I was sitting there with the misso and I was like, have you seen Inception? She's like, no. I was like, how do you miss that? Like, in what world did you see Inception come out in the movies?
Miss that?
And all the conversations, everyone's going, was the spinning top still spinning or wasn't it? And you're like, I don't want to see that movie. I missed that one.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Man, it blew my mind. And so like I put it on.
Was that Riley, the director?
No. That's Christopher Nolan. Like,
it's Chris Nolan. Right.
Again,
it's the boy. Huge director.
Mate, I know. It
Some
blew
people
my
just
mind.
aren't movie buffs though, which is a concept you've always struggled with. That's a fucking headliner. So I see both sides here.
I know. But anyway, we put it on and she was absolutely absorbed. It's one of those great things in life where it's a good movie and the parts coming up and what's going to happen, and to then have the person you're watching with who's never seen it before be engaged, do enjoy it, because that's so like. And I had this with the Batman trilogy. I was like, Christopher Nolan's trilogy of Batman, we're gonna watch it. We start watching Dark Knight, the first one, and I think it holds up really well. It's a great movie. Mrs. falls asleep.
Yeah,
no interested. You know what I did that night? I watched the other 2 movies back to back. I pretty much she fell asleep on the couch, and I then watched 9 hours of Batman movies that I've seen before.
You know what almost is a cry moment is when you're showing them a movie and they get up to go to the bathroom and they're like, "Nah, don't pause it."
Yeah.
You're like, "What? What do you mean? Don't fucking pause it?"
What? Like,
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Like, of course I'm pausing it. We're doing this for you.
Yeah.
I can have some appreciation. God.
Yeah, to miss Inception,
it really is.
That's wild.
So, character dev, he goes through this man-machine issue throughout the game, and you're choosing every point in the way, going, am I going more man, more machine? At the end of the game, does he develop as a fucking robot? Yeah, I guess, kinda. Like, it's not like this guy's really gotten layers to his personality, but he never had it from the start, and who was expecting him to have it anyway?
No, to be fair, that is one criticism I have of Robocop. From what I've seen, that bloke has the personality. I get he's a robot. I get it. Okay, I understand that. But he's a character that's like, he may as well just be a wet sock.
Yeah, he's a brick. It's just a brick.
Literally.
He's a blunt force instrument with not much going on behind the eyes.
Fucking but still, they're trying to play all this humanity piece on you.
Which
There needs
to
to be
be
more
fair,
than-
they did okay. They did okay. So just sticking with loot and extras, I've mentioned the safe skill sort of stuff. I feel like I marked it down there. Exploring was not really worth the effort.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And you know
sometimes
me,
the best parts of
you know
games.
me. I'm enjoying finding things. So like at one point here, I'll give you two quick fucking thingies on this. I don't know what we're time at. So I go down some alleyway and there's a corpse lying on the ground with two cops standing nearby. Robocop comes up to him, has a chat to them both. They're saying, girl was murdered, found here, dumped here. You know, the only clues we've got is da-da-da-da. So Robocop then scans the woman, finds a few fucking clues, is like, right, I think this is related to a movie set being filmed across town. I'll go question them. You go over, question them. Of course, the lead actor in this advert for, like, I think it's moisturizer is a douche. And you're just like, you're clearly the killer, obviously.
The competition kind of thing,
you're clearly a bad person. Like, it has to be you. Of course, then there's a few more bits of intrigue. And you realize that the girl was an escort, sort of provided to him. He then was filming a porno in the back of a petrol station nearby, murdered her because she tried to blackmail him.
God.
And then he dumped the body elsewhere. All of that, I remembered that whole sub story. I remembered, and I was like, that was pretty cool. Like, that's a tick. Another sub story that you come across in this fucking game is a woman in a Detroit fucking apartment block loses her cat. It took about an hour to find this woman's cat with your partner as you're talking the whole way through it. And I'm like, has Robocop not got better things to do than find a fucking lost cat?
Is this guy not higher on the pay grade?
Where are the firemen? Like, what is going on here?
Where's the street cops in the suits?
Where's Robo-Fireman?
Where's this woman's husband, to be fair?
Well, it was an old lady.
You know what? Where's the woman? Oh, she's old.
Yeah, let's yeah. Poor
Where's
lady.
her neighbour?
Yeah, well, they're all. It's
many
Detroit.
people.
She's probably like the only one of that.
She's like, I'm not fucking leaving the house, mate.
I'm gonna get killed.
But the point is, there's a lot of people between that old bitch and Robocop that could have fucking helped.
Fair. So, I mean, exploring, as I said, not overly worth the effort. And the side quests were, for the most part, boring, aside from that one I gave the story for. So, going back to the ratings, here we go. Storyline, world building, 6.5.
Oh, jeez, he's like, yeah, okay, be ready. Okay, 6.5, yes.
6.5. Feel mechanics, 6.
I'm agreeing.
Challenge and entertainment, 6.
Oh, nice.
Character dev build, 6.
Okay.
And loot and extras, 4.
Yep. 5.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
we weren't off to a good start.
We weren't. And despite the rating being so low, I enjoyed playing it and I played it through. And despite its downsides of being sluggish walking through the city and some of these things that are kind of really annoy me throughout the game, the story itself was okay. But the thing that was so good about it was just killing gangsters and Robocop bossing his way through things. It had that Master's Chief, like I'm a tank and I'm going to tank it up.
Everyone has a game like that, I reckon, where they go, yeah, this game sucks, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's like a dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, 100%. And that is satisfying.
Yeah. I think it was just a nice, like, it was a palate cleanser game where it's like, you might come off the high of like a Red Dead and you're like, what do I play next? And you're sort of like, I'll give this one a whirl, and it's short, it's sweet, you get through it, you can see the ending not far away the whole way through. Like with Avowed at the moment, I'm looking for the ending.
Yeah,
I'm
looking for the door.
I'm begging for the ending at this point.
But also, to its credit, not all games get killing filler enemies right.
Yeah.
Like you play a lot of games, you're like, oh, it's another area. I just got to get through these enemies.
Yeah.
You don't really enjoy that part of it.
No.
So for that to be the highlight, they got something right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. I think that was one thing they could sort of hang their hat on and be proud of.
Nice. So that's, Robocop. We're doing a lot more of these movie to game.
There's just a lot more of them coming out,
Mind you, that one was ultimately a miss.
I think by and large.
Do you want to see where it
Yeah,
places
is
on that
it the
leaderboard?
lowest? I feel like it might even be the
Mate,
lowest.
you know we have Senua Saga on here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's the second lowest.
Yeah, there you go.
1.7.
Fair. That's a fair place for it.
Yeah.
But I think as well, like, we've talked about it of obviously playing top line of games, top tier games. We do need to sometimes fill out these other lower end ones to give our 2 cents on them.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws is one that I am sort of tempted to dive into because it's a Ubisoft Star Wars game.
Ubisoft is in the spotlight for not great reasons, man.
Oh, I just remembered. The Assassin's Creed game that's set to come out soon was leaked. Did you see this?
What, like gameplay?
The whole game was leaked online.
Oh, that's
I haven't seen it myself and validated it, but I just remembered it then because Ollie was telling me literally last night.
Someone's going to jail for that.
Yeah, probably. Like, I don't know
because
how they got their hands on
sales if it's
it. It
not
hurts
good.
it massively. Like, they're talking about having to bring forward the release day because it's out there now. They're like, please don't play it for free. Like, what?
Or play it for free, not even watch it.
It's the whole game.
Like you can download it on a torrent or something.
You could probably download it on a torrent. Yeah.
Holy shit, that is.
It's a huge gap.
Okay, if you're listening to this, do not do that. They could, mate, based on Andy Post. Don't fucking.
I'm not going to tell you to do anything.
No, don't do that. You'll get in trouble. Plus, oh shit, that's fucked.
That really hurts them a lot.
And that actually, as a genuine. As someone, look, I haven't loved them all, but Assassin's Creed, they're fun games. They've provided a lot of entertainment over the years.
They're in their heyday, they were great.
Kind of sad to hear.
It is. I mean, Ubisoft. That's. I just knew something like this was going to happen. I knew that game was cursed. Some way, somehow, that game was cursed.
You did say that. I'm still going to give it a chance. I'm not going to watch any of this stuff. I'm still going to wait.
It's going to be hard not to, but yeah, like I hear you. We'll see what it's like when it lands. If it's still a good game, then fuck, I'll give it a go. But
that's it.
What next game are you looking up? Let's finish the app with that. What are you looking for next?
I was thinking Assassin's Creed, but once I make my way through Elden Ring, I'm still finishing Warhammer. I got a few things. Like over Christmas, I finished a lot of games, man. Like I went bang, bang, bang. Like Ashen, Silent Hill, Armored Core, like a fair few of them.
Yeah.
Little Nightmares, I played 2 of them. I went bang, bang over Christmas.
You got
so
some
now I'm kind of like, you know
up.
what? Like I'm gonna wait for new drops. I cannot fucking wait for Subnautica.
Yeah.
There's going to be a moment in time where winter's going to be coming in. I'm going to have fucking Uggs on, trackies. I'm just envisioning it.
Yeah.
Bro, fucking, like just sitting there playing Subnautica in the rain. I'm going to fucking love that. So that's probably the next thing that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, all right, fair. So I'm going to
put
put this to our audience. When this comes out, hopefully whenever we release this episode, let me know, should I play next Warhammer or Monster Hunter? There'll be, I'll let the people decide. Whichever one you want me to review next, that's what I'll play next.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote one Monster Hunter, so let's see what everyone else comes out with.
Okay, all right.
Give us a rating.
Give us a like and subscribe.
Give us a review. We're trying to pump up those numbers.
We really are. And
so if you listen, it won't take you long. On Spotify, on Apple, whatever it is, just go down and click 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah. And like if you've got a mate who loves one of these games, send us the episode where we review it and see if they agree.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if you got any fresh ideas and want us to review a game, info@theeveninggamer.com. We've got a podcast, The Evening Gamer Podcast. Hit us up. But most importantly, don't be an NPC.
An NPC. I thought we were going to do alternating.
Keep leveling up.
Keep leveling up.
Thanks, everyone.